minutes and hours traveling in opposing directions, colliding. The presentation of time reflecting life, where you cannot change the past, you cannot predict the future, but you can seize the moment. The collision of time reflects the chaos of life and the importance of every decision, forcing us to be present. Today I bring you a review of Singularity's one-hand indication watch, the OHI2. This watch is a classic yet unique watch that displays time with a single indicator, changing how you view time. But more on that in a minute. Welcome to OntheWrist. Before we get started, a quick thank you to Singularity Watches for providing this watch for review. I will be sending it back their way after the review, so just keep that in mind. A little backstory on the brand Singularity itself. Founded by Daniel and Steve. Daniel and Steve were at a bar where Daniel, who has extensive experience in the watch industry, was explaining to Steve the intricacies of mechanical watchmaking. Steve, an engineer by trade, looked up and said, "What if we put a reverse gear into the watch, like in a car?" After explaining this idea to Daniel and scrawling on a coaster, he convinced him of the idea that if they put a reverse gear in, they could have the minutes hand going opposite to the hours hands, colliding time and making time readable in a single point. Realizing they had struck gold, they scrawled this all down on a coaster, signed it 50-50, and separated to do weeks of research. After a few weeks of research, they realized no one else had attempted this before. They reached out to a patent lawyer, and after much hardship, they received US Patent 9733618B2, and then launched their idea on Kickstarter to create the first ever one-hand indication watch. You'll see in this video the watch is called the OHI2. That stands for one-hand indication. It should be noted sometimes throughout the video I say one-hand indicator. However, OHI refers specifically to one-hand indication. Let's go over the technical specs and then we'll dive into the details about what makes this watch so incredible. Technical specs should be pulling up on the side there. This is the OHI2 Bold Classic. The OHI stands for one-hand indication. This is 40.5 millimeters in diameter, 11.9 millimeters thick. The lug-to-lug is a nice 47. It's water resistant to 100 meters, but it doesn't have a screw-down crown, which is really convenient. The crystal is a flat sapphire with 7 layers of anti-reflective coating on both the inside and the outside. The movement is the OHI2 time-adjusted movement from Singularity, which is a base Sellita SW200-1, which has an accuracy of plus or minus 12 seconds per day, and the power reserve is 38 hours with the automatic movement. It features an exhibition back showcasing their movement with the custom Singularity logo printed on the back, and details the patent information as well as the edition number. As you can see here, the strap attachment points are hexagonal screws. This makes for easy strap changes shown later. Singularity also offers the option to have lume on your dial of several different colors, of grade X1, incredibly bright. This model does not have it, so I'm showing some photos of other watches that have the lume on screen. So let's talk about how to read this watch. It's something that took me a little while, probably a couple hours to get used to after wearing it, but once I did, it actually is an incredibly convenient and clever way to tell time. On a normal watch, you have 2 hands, so when you look to tell the time, you have to look in 2 places. This watch removes that need. Because the minute tracker spins opposite the direction that the hand moves, you can quickly look, and I can instantly tell it's 3:58 just by looking at it. You can see the topmost portion of the hand points to the hour location, and in the circle there, it tells the minute. So it's very easy to quickly determine what time it is. No other watch I've seen captures this amount of detail. The case shape is also very unique in itself. It's almost a little bit like a bowl, coming down with this smooth contour, makes it very comfortable on the wrist and sets it apart from most case shapes which are kind of static, I would say, where this is a very dynamic case. It's got this nice curved bezel, beautiful brushed steel, 316L grade. And one other interesting thing is the lugs. If you look at the lugs here, you notice how curved they are. A lot of lugs coming off watches are just straight, but this actually has a beautiful curve coming down in multiple directions, which add to the smoothness of the watch and shows the high quality engineering that went into it. The dial itself, now this is another thing Singularity has done which kind of blows my mind and is a really unique feature among the watch world, and that this watch is fully customizable. You can change out the hour tracker, minute hand, second hand, the central plate, the minute tracker. You can change out basically every feature of this watch and make it truly your own. That's not something you see in a lot of watches, and it lets you truly capture what your favorite combination is. There are thousands of combinations based on the number of colors they have, and they're frequently adding more colors. It's finally nice again, and I can be outside to film some outdoor shots, and I really have to do it for this one. I think the indoor lighting doesn't quite do it justice. All the different textures of the different sections of the dial. You have a sort of a sunburst but kind of glossy hour section. The minute hand is a flat black. The center ring is this really interesting sort of machined pattern. And even the seconds tracker is a different type of black and finish than the other pieces. The one hand indicator is rhodium plated, which is in the family of platinum for corrosion resistance. This watch has a lot of depth to this dial, a lot of different textures, a lot of different features that draw the eye, and the more you look, the more you see. This watch really should be appreciated in outdoor light, and I think this design is very well executed, along with the polished case, really making all these colors pop and adding to the classic yet bold look. Let's get a couple shots on the wrist. Here we have it on my 7¼ inch wrist, 40.5 millimeters in diameter, a perfect fit, 12 millimeters thick, easily sits under any dress cuff, a very classic look. That's what they're going for with this collection. It's called the Bold Classic, and I think they absolutely nailed it. It's something that I think you could wear casually as well, but you could also wear it formally with the nice polished stainless steel, black dial, a very classy look, something that will draw anyone's attention who notices what you're wearing, and definitely a conversation piece. I really enjoy this tan leather strap, very comfortable, and I think it complements the black dial perfectly. Again, here it is outside, really great in the sunlight, very comfortable. I really enjoyed this strap in particular with this dial. I think it is a perfect pairing. Here we have it on a darker brown leather strap. The strap is brand new, so it's a little stiff right now. It is a nice color combination, a little more formal, I'd say, than the tan strap previously. Here we have it outside. Natural light does it so much more justice. Here we have it on this black leather strap. I actually quite like this look. I think it's very formal. It's certainly something you could wear with a suit and tie, and definitely brings it to a new level of classy. And here it is outside. Again, really nice look with the black strap, black dial, but that red seconds hand makes it pop nicely to add a little contrast. A note on changing the straps with these hex lugs, it makes it very easy. Singularity has done a great job of making changing a strap very quick and easy. So what's nice is when you unscrew this side, a little more, you pull it out and it's this nice long thick bar, but the head on the other side slots very nicely into the hole. So when you put it in, it stays there by itself, making it very easy to change out the strap. Boom, and just like that, it sits right there perfectly. It's all lined up, and I take the head, compress it in, and it will just sit there. Obviously you have to screw it in, but it makes it very convenient when you want to change straps. MSRP and value. MSRP of this watch is between $1,980 and $2,350 depending on the options. That certainly puts this into the luxury watch category. Once you get into the luxury watch category, value changes a little bit. We're no longer just talking about materials, we're talking about uniqueness, heritage, features, things that make this watch stand out and worthy of such a high price. On materials, this checks all the box as far as features. Two things I would knock them on is on this version, the OHI2, the domed sapphire or the flat sapphire crystal probably could have had a slight dome to it, which enhances the scratch resistance. And the case back is a mineral glass. That is something that OntheWrist does a lot, but it's something that's always bothered me a little bit because it's not likely to cause any issues. It's very unlikely that this back becomes scratched, but it does feel a little bit like an area that they should have just made sapphire to match the front. However, everything else, they have the anti-reflective coating, multiple layers inside and out. They have the 316L stainless steel, which is a slightly higher grade than regular 316, provides more corrosion resistance. And they're doing a lot on the dial as far as different materials go, which I like and certainly adds value and cost on their manufacturing end. Their case shape is unique in multiple respects with the lugs, the actual shape of the case, and the hex heads. So they're doing a lot of unique things. Now, I think where the real value comes in is their one-hand indicator, their patented modification to the Sellita movement. That is really where you're getting a lot of the value, I would call it. It's something that makes this watch truly unique because there is no other watch that does it. It's a patented, unique feature to the SNGLRTY brand. And that is where I think the price gets justified. If you are a watch enthusiast and a watch collector, I think this is something that will stand apart in your collection from anything else. Now, if you wanted an upgrade to the qualities of this watch, you could go for the OHI4, the collector's choice. I don't have one handy, but some of the key differences are the movement is a chronometer grade, not certified, but it is accurate within plus or minus 4 seconds per day. It has a higher level it has a fully finished movement, and it has a curved sapphire crystal and a slightly different case shape to maintain the thinness, but also support the curved sapphire. And on the collector's choice, which retails for approximately $4,000, almost double what this is, the selling point to me for the price increase is that it offers a date window. Now, normally, you'd probably say a date window probably isn't worth doubling the price. However, their date window, again, required an additional modification. It's a unique change that they've made to the movement to move the date ring from where you see the minute hand here out to the 6 o'clock position. That doubled the number of unique components in their modification, and again is some interesting, unique engineering added to the design. The things I would knock them for, as I mentioned, the sapphire crystal, and also I think at the OHI2 level, I really would have liked to see some finishing on the movement. I think at around $2,000, that's a reasonable thing to expect. Again, if I compare it to OntheWrist doesn't do much finishing. They have a custom rotor, but their movement is bare. So it is consistent with other watches of the $2,000 price point. But because I'm asking for everything, the sapphire crystal back and the finishing are something that I would have liked to see. Closing thoughts? This watch is truly unique. I love that you can customize every aspect of it. It has a patented movement to change the way you look at time. It is something that every time you look at it, it's a different experience than a regular watch. It's something that will stand out in anyone's collection, is sure to grab attention, and has a lot of attention to detail throughout the entire watch. I love the change to the lugs, the case shape. They've done a lot to make this a unique experience every time you handle it, every time you see it. So for that, I definitely wholeheartedly have enjoyed wearing this watch, and it's something that will go great in anyone's collection if you're in the market for something of that price point. But now, I want to know what you think. Is this something that excites you? Do you like the design? Is the customization something that excites you? Or was there something more you wanted to see for this price point? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to talk with you guys about this watch and answer any questions you have. But that's all I have for today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.